So what I'm going to talk through today is the WordPress dashboard. Kind of go through a little walkthrough with this. And I'm going to kind of keep this kind of open and interactive. So whenever you guys have questions, if you guys want me to dig into something a little bit deeper, anything like that, just kind of raise your hand and I'll point you out and we can kind of get going on that. There's a few things, I have a rough outline I want to touch on, but it's not going to be anything like strict presentations like some presentations are here. I figured when it comes through the WordPress dashboard, the best way for you guys to learn about this is to kind of explore it, and I'll explore it with you.
This holds true to
What?
Does this hold true to WordPress.com and org?
I'm going to be doing this on a self-install of WordPress.org install. Most of it is similar on WordPress.com. And there might be a few differences here and there. I could try bringing up a WordPress.com site later if you guys have any specific questions, and I can kind of try digging into that for you guys too. But this is going to be on a self-hosted WordPress.org. Again, like I was introduced, my name is Dustin. I'm a web engineer for 10up. We're one of the premier WordPress agencies. You can catch me online on Twitter at DustyF. DustyF.com is my blog, which I don't blog on too often, but it's there. And 10up.com is our company website. And this is kind of what we're going to be going through today. A couple of the things that I looked through that I thought would be valuable for a dashboard walkthrough. Looking at some of the default menu items, again, this is going to be a stock WordPress install. So, you know, plugins and certain themes will add menu items to your sidebar. It's going to would be impossible to go through all of those because you know how many plugins and themes there are out there. Also, I know like the first WordPress 101, I wasn't here in time to see what she did, but I know that she was going through a little bit of a walkthrough or a little bit of intro to the dashboard. So if I kind of overlap her too much here, just catch me on things and say, you know, we already learned that, and we can kind of move on. So we're going to also look through writing posts and pages, so you guys know what you're doing there, how to kind of format a few different things, adding media in, so adding photos and such into your site, adding YouTube and Vimeo videos, which is actually super simple in WordPress. Managing users, adding new users, and a little bit about user roles, because if you are having say you run your own WordPress site for your business, maybe you want more control, but you have an employee that you just want to come in and update some stuff on the pages for you, but not be able to access the settings. There are different types of roles for that. A little bit about comments, some of the common settings you might want to set up in WordPress, how to manage menus a little bit, what are widgets, and what are dashboard widgets, because there's two different types of widgets in WordPress, just to confuse everybody, and your user profile. Yes?
I'm going to ask the group, how many people already have experience with WordPress and how many people have never used it before and you're like fresh out of the chute?
And that's good because I wanted to ask the same thing too.
Okay,
So let's do that. So who here has never logged into WordPress at all? Okay. How many people here have their own WordPress site but know a little bit about it? Okay. How many people here would consider themselves like business owners that have a WordPress site? How about bloggers that have a WordPress site? How many people here say they are making or want to make sites for people? Okay. So that gives me a little bit of idea on what kind of people are here. So some of you guys here probably have little experience with some of these things, so we can get into depth and definitely ask me questions if, because I know WordPress, I've been working with WordPress for a few years now, some things I might take for granted, so don't don't feel bad about asking me questions on anything. So, as far as slides, that's my last slide. Quick presentation, because I don't like slides, and especially in this, I think actually having a WordPress install up is going to be the best. Does this, I'll log out of here. Does this look too small to you guys, or can you read this all right? Should I bump the resolution up a little bit? A little bit more? Can you shut the door over there, please? Okay.
Last pass. All right.
Yep. So what we're starting from is a stock WordPress install. This is installed locally in my own computer. This is just a default 2014 theme that comes with the latest version of WordPress. And what you get right out of the box, I installed it just before lunch, so we're fresh. It comes with your site, your basic posts in here, your sidebar that has some widgets, which we'll talk about. You appear a menu, which just has one page on there because it comes with one sample page and one blog post out of the box. You see your widgets down the side here. We'll get into how to manage these, but by default it comes with your recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and a meta widget, which just allows you to log in and get your RSS feeds. So, who here has never logged into WordPress before? I think I might ask that. Maybe you've never logged into WordPress. Who here knows what you would type into the address bar after your address to log in? Can somebody tell me? WP-admin. Do you guys also know that, well, WP-admin will go here. Also, if you look up in the address bar now, WP-login will also go here. Also, it's not going to work right now because I don't have the pretty URLs turned on. Admin will go there in most cases, but we will log in first. One setting which you're going to want to turn on first in WordPress, which I'll turn on because it's going to make it easier for our presentation. If you have a new WordPress install, you have your permalink settings. This just says how your WordPress URLs can be formatted. By default, it looks like this. Just a little query string is what this called at the end, with the number ID of the page or post on it. You're going to want something more readable, especially for search engines and for visitors to your site. They'd rather see something like they're reading the name of reading the post. You're going to want the site name / post name. And so we're going to set it to that. You can do date-based things too. Some people like to have date-based URLs on their sites, but I usually just set them to the sample post or to the post name. Like I said, that's going to be both good for people visiting your site because then they can see up in the address what page they're on. It also is good for search engines too because Google does look at your URL to kind of figure out what pages are about to. So I'm going to log out again just because once that's set, you can also just type in here /admin, and that will bring you to login too, or /login. So a little quicker things for you if you don't remember WP-admin or WP-login.php. If you just type in your site /login because you want to log in, it will take you to the login page. So you're at your login page. I'm going to log in here. If you have a WordPress site, you're probably at least somewhat familiar with this. This is the main dashboard. Yes?
Just a quick question about passwords.
Yes.
Any recommendations? Obviously, you don't want to use password 1. What are some good but easy to remember, or what's your thinking about passwords?
I've heard about passwords. What good thing to use is passphrases, where it's a very long string of words. So if it's like,
Mary
I don't
had a
know.
little lamb.
Yeah, something maybe not quite that noticeable, but you know, a string of words that you can kind of remember. Your question?
You can also use an address that you used to live at maybe when you were a kid, because you can usually remember that, but it's
Yeah.
not very common.
Yeah, and the thing with it, I guess, is you want to have it long, because most of the hackers that come out there do brute force attacks, and you know, even if you have like a 6 to 8 character string of numbers, letters, and special characters, it's going to take a lot less time to go through 8 characters of those than it's going to go through like 16 characters or more of really long things that are even just letters. So.
Does WordPress allow unlimited number of attempts?
By default, yes. You can install a plugin. I think there are multiple plugins out there actually that'll do it. But there's, it would be a good idea to put one that limits your login attempts to like 3 attempts, and then you would have to have like an admin user or something come in and reset that.
How do you do that?
The limit login attempts?
Yeah.
There are plugins that are available to do it. I don't.
Oh, you get a plugin to limit your login attempts?
Yes, yeah. It's not in by standard on standard installs. I don't know the plugin name off the top of my head. There might be just one called Limit Login Attempts. One of the later talks here is going to be specifically about plugins, so maybe Josh during that will know. So we're looking down the side of the dashboard here. You have your menu of options down the side where you can manage different things in WordPress. They have nice little flyout menus. You have your basic dashboard that welcomes you to WordPress with your dashboard widgets. That's what all these are here. These can be moved around, turned off and on. These are supposed to be quick things that help you quickly do things once you log right into WordPress. So you can see like how many posts and pages are out here. You can see what comments were recently done on your website. You can see different WordPress news. You'll probably one time see this talk up on here on WordPress.tv, because all the WordPress.tv talks from WordCamps are posted up in this WordPress news too. When you start out with a new install, WordPress is nice and welcomes you. It says, hello, welcome to WordPress. You can dismiss that. I'll do that. Up in the top, whenever you're logged in, you're going to see the admin bar. That's what this is called. It gives you a link back to WordPress if you need to get more information. Your site name up here. If you click on the site name when you're in the dashboard, it'll bring you to the forward-facing site that your customers or visitors will see. When you're on this site, it brings up a different menu. When you're on the forward-facing site, it brings up a different menu. And if you click on that, it brings you back to the dashboard. It gives you how many updates are available for your site. One important thing to do is to keep your WordPress site updated. So it'll show you up here that in this case, it must have been an older install that I put in here and actually has 5 updates. It tells me right here that I have to update to WordPress 3.9.1. I think this is on 3.8. Tells you if there's any new comments that are waiting for moderation. And it gives you a quick way to add new posts and pages. And then far over on the right, it gives you your profile area. You see your little, if you have what's called a Gravatar, which is a third-party service that allows you to have user picture avatars on different sites across the internet, including WordPress.com, WordPress.org sites, and a lot of other things. If you sign up there and link your email address to a picture, it will use it whenever you put your email address in on a site like a WordPress site. I'd recommend getting one of those. Gravatar, Gravatar. And I don't know if you guys noticed on the WordCamp website, if you go to the attendees section on the Chicago WordCamp website, you'll see some people have little pictures next to their names, some people don't. It's because those people that have pictures have signed up at Gravatar, so gravatar.com. And in here too, you can actually get information to edit your user profile on your WordPress site. We'll get into that a little bit more down the road here. Any questions so far on just what we've seen here? Okay. The first part here, I told you about updates. WordPress will show you what type of updates are available for your site. A standard WordPress.com won't do this because they automatically update everything for you, of course. But a standard WordPress.org install will show you the updates and have them available under this updates tab here in your admin area, in your dashboard area. Right here it tells me it can update to WordPress 3.9.1. I do have an older version. One thing WordPress does now, which is kind of cool, it will auto-update for you the small releases. So like, I have this on 3.8. It won't update from 3.8 to 3.9. But if I was on 3.9 and I wanted to go up to 3.9.1, it'll update those small point releases because those are just security fixes. So they might have found a small bug that had a small security hole in WordPress, and it'll automatically update those for you, which is good to do. Yes?
So if you update your site, do you lose all of your new stuff that you did?
No.
It doesn't?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what it did?
It doesn't lose it all. It's probably best to have a backup in case like something were to go wrong in that process. It's typically unlikely. I've rarely ever had something go wrong.
Now what if
Yeah.
you have a child version? Do you have to update both versions?
A child theme on the site. If the child theme has an update to it as well as the,
Oh, they'll tell you if there's
if you get it from one of the, if you get it from like, I think the WordPress, does WordPress.org repository have child themes? Does it now? Okay. If you get it from there, I think they'll tell you updates on any of the themes. But it's possible the child theme won't have an update and the parent theme will have an update. It is possible for that. Yeah.
That's my general question, actually.
Okay.
So basically, the child theme is a copy of the original that you make changes to, but it's kind of like an archived version that hasn't been changed. Is that correct, the parent theme?
Yeah, that's kind of the way. He's asking about child themes versus parent themes, and who here has no idea what we're talking about? Okay, just to make sure. You get a WordPress theme and install on your site, and it'll show your design up there. What a parent theme would be, say you're using that theme. You can make a child theme which takes that theme and modifies certain parts of it without touching this. So if you were to take away your child theme, it could default back to your parent theme and still look fine, and you could still update that one. I don't know if I'm making sense here or not, but it kind of just bolts on to the parent theme. So, and it does like smaller changes to this parent theme. So a lot of times, a lot of the theme developers out there will release one theme that's their parent theme, and then they'll release child theme to that have different modifications to it. Or some theme developers that make them for clients or whatever will find a base parent theme, and then when they want to make modifications for their clients, because say their clients like it pretty much this way, but they want this and this and this changed, they'll take a child theme and just change the parts they want. And what the child theme does is it says, okay, these parts are changed, these parts aren't changed, so I'm going to use this theme for those parts. That,
So like the parent theme would be like the lower theme?
Yeah.
The child theme would be like the separate special things?
yeah, kind of. So like, if you, like there's different files in the themes, and basically, if you just wanted to replace the file for the home page, you could just replace that file for the home page in the child theme. And that's all it could be, is just like one or two files in the child theme that just replaces this part of it. So. All right, and in here too, it shows me my plugin updates, my theme updates down in here too. And like I said, it's not going to replace your whole site if you do an update. It's good to have a backup when you do updates, just to be safe. It's good to have a backup anyway, because you never know if your host goes down and they lose your data, if something comes in, some hackers get to your site and get a hold of a bunch of your data and things get all messed up. It's just good to have backups in the first place. If you do want to do an update in WordPress, it's very one-click update. Click that. And the Wi-Fi hasn't been the best here, so we'll see how quick this goes. Not going too bad. Boom, I'm updated.
Is there a feature for backups?
There are plugins for backups.
Backup Buddy.
Yeah, Backup Buddy is a very good one.
Any others that you like?
Managed WP does has a good service where they'll take backups, and they'll also, especially if you have multiple sites, they will. You can manage multiple sites in there and see when they have to be updated, see when all the plugins have to be updated from one dashboard. That's kind of a nice one too. There's Back WP Up, which I've heard is pretty decent. There's a good number of good backup plugins out there. If you look, so now I'm updated. You can look at the credits. My name's down in here somewhere. I am right there, that's me. I am a WordPress core contributor, right there. The same thing goes for themes. If you want to update themes and plugins, if you want to update your plugins, boom, just updates as quick as that. Just downloads them automatically from the internet to your site. Goes really quickly, really easy to do. For the most part, if you have high quality plugins, high quality themes, and with WordPress how it is, there should be little worry about updates. I would say always just keep a backup just in case though. So, yes?
So if you're not using a plugin to do your backup, like Backup Buddy, you need to be concerned about backing up your database and backing up your files.
Yes.
So
It can be you would need to back up the files and the database, which may be a little much for some people in here without using a plugin to really go into depth of how to do that. Sometimes your web hosts will keep backups as well, so it could be somebody to go to for that if they have options. I don't think right now to get into the way how to back up your files and your database is really where we should go right now. I think a plugin is probably the best route.
I was just thinking some of those
Yeah.
plugins don't back up your files. They're just backing up your database.
Okay. I'm sure Backup Buddy is a good one
Yeah,
that does
it's-
everything though. So. We'll move down the line here and we'll come to posts. Posts in WordPress are basically your blog posts or your news section of your website. So you want to keep people up to date on your latest happenings. You would create posts in here. You get, by default, you can view all of your posts. This will give you a listing of every single post you have. You can add a new post. You can add categories or tags to these posts, which are different taxonomies. By default, WordPress has one post in here so you can see what it looks like. If you hover over this, it allows you to edit it. Gives you a little quick edit area to edit some different parts of it quickly. And I'm just going to create a new post right now. So we're going to create one called WordCamp Chicago Recap. So basically you get up here, this is your title area. Once you put a title in, it will give you your permalink. That's the link to this page. It takes this from your title, strips out all of the capital letters, adds dashes in where there's spaces or special characters, strips that stuff out so it's a nice looking link that you can give to somebody. If you do want to edit this link, change it at all, you can just click edit here, change it however you want. If I just wanted it to say WordCamp Chicago, I could do that. And that's going to be what your link's going to be that people will see when they visit this page. Or if you want people to, if you want to give people the URL to your site or to a certain page or a post on your site, you can craft it however you would like there. Okay, and yeah, she was asking about if you can edit it, if you should edit it to add keywords for search engines in there. And that is something you could do. I myself wouldn't recommend like piling tons of keywords in there, but if you want to get your content found and you know it's something people are going to search for, you do want to have something in there that people are going to understand that this is what it's about. So in this case, like I know this post is going to be about WordCamp Chicago. If people are searching stuff for WordCamp Chicago, this would help them find that. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to want to pile in every single keyword, but yes, you're going to want to put some kind of keyword in there that's going to identify it for both search engines and for your visitors.
I assume that you want to think about this when you first start the post, because once you edit it after it's posted, if someone had linked to it, then it'd be a broken link at their end. Is that correct?
Yes, I would recommend looking at your URL, your permalink there immediately and making sure it's something good. Typically, it'll just take the title, which is good enough in most cases. But he's right, and what he asked is like, if you were to change this, edit this post and change it down the road, and somebody had linked to this, or Google had indexed this already, it would be a broken link because the link would change. So we're going down here. This is your visual editor in WordPress. And if you have any questions as we do this, let me know. Right down here, you can add you can add your text in, you can add images, you can format text. Gives you an area, kind of like a Microsoft Word type editor in here to type out your post or type out your pages. So we're just typing stuff in here. So there's our post. You can of course go in here and highlight words. Say I want to make that bold. We're going to make some stuff italics. You can do strike through if you wanted to. You can make lists. So bulleted lists, numbered lists. We can put things, center things if we want, align right. If we want to link to stuff, you select it, you pick a link, type or paste in the link in here. If you want to add your title elements, which are good for search engine tracking too, so you know when you go to a website and you hover over a link, it might show like a little word about what that link visits. And also search engines use that information to kind of tell where these links go. You can put that in here. You can click open in a new window if you want, so it doesn't open up in the same window, it'll open up a new window or tab in your browser. Or if you wanted to link to pages on your current site, it'll give you a listing of all the pages and posts on your current site down here. And you can type in the search bar here if you wanted to search through them, because you may have hundreds of posts and pages eventually on your site. So now we have a link here to WordCamp Milwaukee. There's also a little button here that'll toggle on more options for what you can do. Giving you like headings too. So Say we want to put one called awesome things at WordCamp Milwaukee. And we're going to make this a big heading. And the first one, we'll delete some of these here, is going to be, we had a bacon bar last year. I'm hoping we can do it again this year. What we had for a bacon bar was for our afternoon snack on Saturday, I just had a caterer come in with a big serving tray of bacon. You could just come and eat bacon. That was our snack. It was a hit. This year we have some more venue restrictions with catering, so I'm hoping I can do it again, but we'll see. We like cheese. We're the dairy state. And of course, our theme is cheese and cows this year.
Cheese and bacon.
And bacon, yeah. One of our organizers will dress up like a cow. Yes, one of our organizers bought a cow costume. What else is good? Learn WordPress, of course. I mean, you don't just come for the other stuff. Oh, we also have an awesome after party. That's good too. Yeah, we like beer. It's Milwaukee. We love beer. Okay. Could do other things too. You know, of course, underlining here, justifying the text so it's justified on both sides. You can change colors of text. So let's say I want this to be, let's put it red. Pasting things. There's a bunch of different options here. I'm not going to go into everything on this one, but you can also get plugins that do add more features to this editor as well. Gives you more options to be able to format your text on your posts and pages. Along the sidebar here, I'm going to jump down the bottom first. We have categories and tags. We'll talk about those. Those are what are called different taxonomies in WordPress. Basically ways to, categories to categorize your posts, to relate them together. So say, just shouldn't be all my posts about, well, I said this is about WordCamp Chicago, and then I started talking about WordCamp Milwaukee, so I don't know. We'll just say it's about WordCamps is our category. So we're adding a new category in there. This is about WordCamps. Now you can have a link on your site that goes to all your blog posts about WordCamps. And then people can view everything, every post you talk about WordCamps. And say you want to tag them. So, well, this one's going to be about bacon, because we talked about bacon in here. We can add that. We also talked about Milwaukee in here, and I spelled Milwaukee wrong. And we also talked about Chicago in here, and beer. So these are kind of, I don't want to say lesser topics, but different things we want to tag that are posts about, but maybe not our overall topic. So secondary, maybe a secondary type of category you want to put on here. Then we will move up to formats. Some WordPress themes have allow you to do different formats of posts in here that will actually display different types of templates and views when people view the post based upon what type of post it is. In this case, say like it'll format an image different, so it basically gives you like a bigger image on there, or maybe a video, so you can just, if it's just going to be a video in it. A quote, it'll put it in like a little box with quotes. I believe these are all things that the 2014 theme can do. Different themes allow different ones. So this is kind of on a theme-by-theme basis here. Some themes don't have any of those in there, and it all depends upon what kind of options you're looking for in a theme. Down the bottom, we'll go on here. You have featured images. Let me get an image first. So we are going to find, if the internet will work here. Let's try a different Wi-Fi. I should have got a good image before I started here. Okay, we'll use an image I have on here. I was going to find the picture of, maybe we can still find it here. Yeah, we can find it. There it is. The picture of Brad, one of our organizers. He'll be here this weekend too. So ask him about his cow costume. Let's see if I can get that one down just because it'd be fun.
Your perma link is pretty long. How would you shorten that? Because you had WC Chicago /
If you wanted a shorter one, I mean, you can make it your URL, like your actual website address, you're not going to be able to change on it. You can try to make the what's after that a little bit less if you want to. You could just go in here and edit it. If you want like short URLs, you can use like Bitly or one of the other URL shortener services. Jetpack has a URL shortener built into it that will give you shorter URLs to be able to share and stuff. Say on Twitter, because you only have so many characters, things like that.
So you can change the whole permalink and not just the point after the slash? Is that
Just after the slash is all you can.
Okay, so you could, if you had a Bitly though.
If you have Bitly, you can basically what the Bitly URL will do, it gives you a URL at Bitly, and then that'll redirect you to the full URL.
You couldn't change it on the permalink though, is that correct? You couldn't have a Bitly permalink?
No, you couldn't have one there, no. Yes?
At the very beginning, you changed something in the custom structure to get it to show up like what you did.
Yes.
Could you repeat that, please?
Sure. That is under, I'm going to open up in a new window here, Settings Permalinks. So under Settings Permalinks, it gives you different permalink settings here. The default is going to be with the number-based, which is just a numerical ID that starts from 1 and keeps going up at different intervals to, for each poster page. Typically, just the post name or the page name after your address is a really good one to go with. If you're doing a lot of blog posts, sometimes it's nice to be able to put things in like a date-based format too.
So the custom structure would not make it shorter?
The custom structure wouldn't necessarily make it shorter. That would just give you different ways to do it. So.
And the custom structure you have written there in the post name are currently the same?
Yeah, because that's what it'll automatically populate the custom structure with the actual like one when you're clicking through here.
That was the part that I missed.
Okay. So we're gonna put it at just post name like that. Yeah.
One of the earlier speakers recommended against using category in part of your custom structure. Is there a reason you recommend against using category? So like if you blog every single day and you're talking about 20 different subjects, you
Yeah.
might want to categorize it as these are my recipes and this is cheesecake.
I don't think so. Some people might think there's some SEO value to it. I haven't really found much myself that I can really agree with that. I think whatever you feel is best for the people actually visiting your site. Google's algorithms really try to actually get what people are thinking, not really what a computer's thinking. They're making their algorithms better and better to try to match people's minds when they're trying to visit your site. So rather than really trying to game it too much, try to really think about what your visitors are looking for rather than just trying to game it for search engine ranking. That doesn't mean you can't modify things to make it better, and which can help Google, but usually you're going to try to make it better for your visitors to your site instead. Okay, there's the photo of Brad. So when you see Brad here, I'm assuming he'll be in later today. Maybe he's even here now. Ask him about his cow outfit. I wonder if he brought it. We were trying to tell him to bring it here too, to promote WordCamp Milwaukee. So what we have down the bottom too is a featured image. What this is for is some themes will have featured image areas along with their posts. So maybe you have your blog post, and above it you have like a big header image that changes for each blog post or for each page. Or maybe like off to the side of your blog post, there's a little image. That's typically your featured image on a post or a page. So we're going to select a file, and there's Brad. He's a little sideways, but we can fix that later.
We did cover this.
Huh?
We did cover this.
Did you cover this one? Okay. So now I hit publish. And I should have showed you some other stuff here first, but I'm going to view the post. Now you see in 2014, it puts my featured image of Brad up on in his cow outfit up on top.
Looks like he's compressed.
It might be. This is, I think he uploaded a smaller image on there, but
Takes place with the header image of the site, right? And
this would be on a per post basis. So just for this post, if I go to my other post in here, Hello World, there's no header image on it. Yep. Or per page too.
per page.
So the other things along here too you want to look for, you can preview your changes. Click this, it'll pop up a preview which doesn't go live to the site first. You can edit here your visibility. You can make a sticky post, which means on the home page, if you're showing your blog post on your home page of your site, it'll always be the first one on top. You can password protect a post or a page, and it'll let you put a password in here. So if you only want certain people to get to it, and you say, here's my password, say maybe you have a client that you have to share some information with, but you don't want it out there public. You can put it up on one web page and say, here's the password to it, go to this, type in this password, and you're set to go. You can make it private, so when private means only if you have a login, an actual login to the site, you can see it. Not just a password, but you have to actually have a user login on the site. I'll just keep it public. Also right here, you can schedule a post, or you can change the date on a post if you're editing it. Say you want this post to not post until July 5th because that's my birthday, and you want to say happy birthday to me. You could make this post on July 5th and automatically post on that time on July 5th. You can move it to the trash too, which is the move trash button, which is pretty self-explanatory. So go back to all our posts here. Now you'll see that new post within the new posts. You can edit the post, make all the same changes by clicking edit, and then it'll automatically change up on your site. Once you hit update, it'll automatically change that post. One thing I didn't get to is that if you're adding a new post, I just clicked add post again. You can save a draft. So if you want to start working on a post or a page and you don't want to publish it to everybody right now, but you want to save your progress, you click Save Draft and they'll save that for you so you can work on it later. Now we'll get into the media a little bit. Actually, let's just jump to pages quickly because pages are pretty much just posts, but they work slightly differently because you can make subpages or child pages. So you can make like a page that's, you can make like a page for, say you're doing a site for your business and you have a page that has about us, and that's going to be just like a blurb about your company, and then you have subpages for like employees, for your location, different things like that. And you could have subpages of a page. That's the big difference between posts and pages there. But otherwise, you're adding a new page. It's going to look pretty much similar, besides no categories or tags by default on pages. And you can select if you want to have a parent page. And you can select different page templates too. Different themes come with different page templates. So you can have one that maybe has a sidebar, one that doesn't. The one's full width contributor. I don't know what these look like in 2014 off the top of my head, but they have, each of them have different looks to it, and each theme will have their different way of displaying that. And again, it gives you the same type of options to save drafts, make it private or public, and if you want to publish it immediately or if you want to schedule publishing. Adding media, if you click the media library, it'll show all the media, which are any images, videos. If you upload like PDF or Word files, it goes in here too. Those type of things go into your media library. You can add media through this library if you want to, but the way most people do it is through a page or a post. Do you have a question?
When you create a page, how do you make it show up either on the top ribbon or on the sidebar?
Oh, in the menus? Or that? Are you talking about?
When you create it, yeah. If you want it on top or if you want it on the side, how do you set it up?
So if I create a page, like, do you mean like if I want it to show up here?
Yeah, in one of the top tabs, or if you want it on the side.
Okay, I'll get to that in a little bit when I get to like the menus and stuff. So. Okay, so we're going to the media, and this is your media library. You can upload media through here, like I was saying, but most people will just upload it through a post. So I'm going to look at all of our posts. I'm going to take this one that we created here.
What do you mean?
What was that?
Most people will upload them from a post?
Yeah, they won't go to the media library to upload it. You go to a post because you want to add an image within your post. When you're using an image, you're going to want to put it on a blog post or on a page. If you want to watch what I'm going to be doing here, so I'm going to add media in here. When it pops up, it'll allow you to upload files. You can select files from that are already on your site, like the one of Brad and his cow outfit. We'll just select a different one. What do I have in here? Here's one of my daughter last summer when in her Packers jersey. So we're uploading an image now. With this image, you can add a title to it if you'd like, an alt text, description, or a caption. Her name is Gianna.
What does alt text mean?
Alt text is for, say, like accessibility purposes. If your image can't be displayed, say like for like a screen reader.
Okay, so a picture, the type behind the picture.
Yeah, for a screen reader, or if like that, or if it can't be displayed, it'll say that there. You should do it for accessibility because if, say, if blind people are coming to your site and they have a screen reader reading through the site, they'll actually be able to tell what those images are about. So, the other thing, putting title and alt text to some of your images does help Google know what those images are about, so they get indexed in Google image search better too.
Question, does this text, the alt text, the caption, that follow the image, or does it stay with just that post if you use the image more than once?
It follows the image.
And would you use that as well as tags? Because Google is picking it up. Somebody told me to put as many words in the alt text as possible as well.
No, are you talking about the image alt text, or are you talking about like the page the image. I wouldn't put as many words as I could in there. I would just put descriptive words in there. So if you have something, say you're I took a picture of this class and was posting my blog, and I want it to be found on Google, I would do something like just put like WordCamp Chicago 2014, Foundation Friday 101 dashboard walkthrough, stuff that people may search for, or something that when people visit your site, they can, if they saw that alt text pop up because your image was missing, or a screen reader read it, then that's something they can understand what it is.
Isn't that what tags do as well?
What tags do, tags, you don't really tag your images, but tags, you can tag your post, or you can, and that's kind of like single word tags. I would make the alt text more of like a description, a short description of what it is.
It's like a double tag, basically.
Yeah.
Put stuff together.
Does it have to follow a certain format as far as like dashes or?
No, these don't need dashes. They can have spaces in there and numbers and letters and whatnot. So when we add an image in, you see your image information on the side here. You can pick between images. In the middle, like I showed you, we uploaded some files, or you can view from your library. When you want to display it, this is how it's going to display on in this post here. You can have it no alignment on it. You can have it center aligned in your page, left aligned or right aligned. Actually, probably the opposite for you. And what it links to. So you can have, like, if somebody were to click on this image when they're visiting your post or your page, if they would go and actually see the actual media file, a larger image of it, WordPress makes an attachment page for each image. So it's actually your design of your site with a bigger picture. WordPress makes an attachment page for each image.
Yeah.
So what it does, it makes a page that follows the theme of your site, but in the middle where your post normally would be, or your page normally would be, all it does, it has a picture of, has your picture in the middle there. So people can see a larger image of your picture.
So they can click on it and see a larger.
Yes. So that's what attachment page would bring you to. If you went to media file, it would just bring you to the actual image with no theme around it. You understand?
So you can not have an attachment page?
You don't have to have it go to the attachment page, no.
But if you put attachment page on there, then if they click on the image, they'll see a larger version.
They will, yes. They'll see a larger version either way, but with an attachment page, it'll have your theme around it. It'll have the look of your site around it with the image on the page.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it'll have all of your,
Yeah, like it'll have your header and your,
okay.
yeah, and your menu and stuff up there. Or you can have it go to a custom URL. So say you had like an image of a button or something on your page. You can have that click go to any different URL or whatever you want, a different site.
It would go to a different site then.
Yeah, or you can put it to your own site if you wanted to link to another page. Or if you select none, of course, it just shows the picture up there. You can pick the size that's going to display on your page. WordPress comes with 4 different image sizes built in. You have a small thumbnail that's a square of 150 by 150 pixels. So I'm trying to think here, like 150 by 150 is probably going to be about, you see where my cursor's going, about that big. So
That would be good for the mobile device then?
it would show up, it would show up fine on the mobile device. It would look a little bit different, but depending on how the text goes around it. You have a medium that goes by about 300 large, it's about 600 in width, and then you can have the full big size you uploaded there if you wanted to. We'll just put in the medium one right now. Insert it into my post that's left aligned. So there's my daughter in there. I'm going to click Update, and I'm going to click View Post. And now she's on our page there, left aligned with the text. It'll left align with text, but it's not going to left align with this because this I made as a header in H2, and that's how HTML works with header elements. They automatically break down anything from it. But if I had just paragraph text to it, the paragraph text would wrap all the way around the image.
So when you pick small, medium, or large, it's still, let's say I pick medium,
Mm-hmm.
then you still click on it, it'll still show a larger image.
Yeah, let's add one in like that. So let's add her in again. I'm going to add her in the little thumbnail here.
Okay,
And I'm going to attach this to the attachment page.
good.
Insert that into post. And we'll just click preview changes. So now she's here in a little thumbnail. If I click it, it brings me to the big image with our theme around it.
With your theme around it.
Yep. And now, if let's add it in again, but we'll add her with now it's linking to the media file. And we're going to
Okay, preview.
preview the changes. And now it'll just bring the huge image.
But it's bringing a really big image.
Yeah, because it has the full size that came off my camera. Because I uploaded this, the
Okay,
huge
so
size
you
off my
can-
camera.
You can really get a big image by doing that.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Can you change those image sizes?
You can. I would recommend changing the image sizes before you upload them, though. I would take like a photo editor. If you have Photoshop, I would use that. Or there's a few free ones to do the good basic stuff on both Mac and Windows.
Can you change what the size of those four are
You can. Oh yes, those are possible, but
with plugin?
you can change. Add image sizes to your heart's content with plugins or with code. Within WordPress, let me just update that. Within WordPress, there are media settings that will allow you to change your thumbnail, medium, and large here. So they do allow you to change those ones. So 150 by 150 is your default, but if you wanted, say, like your little thumbnail to be 200 by 200 pixels, and you want and what this will do then is it crops it out so it's only a 150 by 150 square right in the middle. What the medium and large size does, it takes one size, makes it 300 pixels, and it takes the other size and relatively resizes that to fit.
When you say crop to exact dimensions, that means it's going to change the image.
So say this picture of Brad here.
Yeah.
What it will do is it will take, shrink this down to the smallest size. So the horizontal size would go down 150 pixels, and then it would chop off the top and the bottom. To get rid of those, so there'd be a square of 150 pixels by 150 pixels. If it was not, these other ones, where are we? I don't need this one open anymore. The other settings, like this, what it'll do is it will take, so the medium one, where it says max 300 by 300, it will take the largest side, shrink that down to 300, and it would just keep the relative dimension on the other side. Yeah.
That has archived and archived years of travel photos that will take the business owner a long time to actually create a blog for each specific gallery. Can you actually just create the gallery and keep it in the draft, or how do you work something like that if you're working?
Yeah, the media like that's a little bit harder of a topic to manage with it. There are some media plugins. There was one recently released by the guy who did one of the really good slider plugin. They're probably worth checking out. They give you a little bit more granular control of like your media, but by default, WordPress is a little bit limited on that. And I know the core developers and everybody are aware of that, and that's something that's trying to be improved. So, yeah.
You can, when you get to the page where it says drag and drop, at least the theme I had, I just grabbed a whole bunch of images, put them
Oh,
in there,
yeah.
and they started processing. Now, if you're taking a whole bunch of them and they're pretty large, then they might take a while. Maybe you go to lunch or something.
Yeah, they would take a while, yeah.
But they will just keep processing them until they're finished.
Yeah, yeah, that will work, yeah. Yeah, what she said was that you can, let me get back to my post here and show you quickly here. You can add media and get up this upload here, and let me bring up a Finder window. And you can grab like a bunch of images, drag them in here, drag and drop support too, and that will.
They'll process all of them. Now, it might take a while. If they're large images, it will take a while for it to get through it. But you could like go to lunch or go for a walk
Yeah.
or something while it's processing.
So that's a way to batch upload a lot of them, a lot of images.
You just
Yeah.
process a whole bunch of your larger images.
Are you limited?
Well, they bring them in and then you.
I'm unaware if there's any limits on that.
They're just.
There, I mean,
database them.
for most applications that people would do that, there wouldn't be. I mean, if you get into the thousands, maybe it might have some problem, but I'm unaware of what that is.
20 gigabytes or 50 gigabytes?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. So, next thing, moving on, what I wanted to show you in here, we're gonna get a YouTube video, and say we want to put a YouTube video into our post here. We want to rickroll everybody. So, all we have to do to post a video from YouTube or Vimeo, and there may be some other things too, but YouTube and Vimeo are the most used, is just paste the URL of the video in there. I just copied that from the YouTube page and pasted it right in there. I'm going to preview my changes here. And the video appears right in there. You don't have to have any special plugins, any special code, any special shortcodes, or anything to put a video in. All you have to do is paste in the actual link of the video.
The URL.
Yep. And then you can get rickrolled. So let's see, what else did I have talked about here? Because I think we're starting to get shorter on time here. Anybody have questions before I move on adding posts or pages? The menus, yep. We'll get to that one.
In the media library where the sizes are,
Yeah.
the large size says 1024. What can you take it up to that you won't break something?
Well, I don't know that you're going to break something, but it all depends upon what images you upload to your site. Say a camera, it comes off a camera at 3,000, 4,000 pixels. If you go over that, it's not going to be able to resize them down at all. It doesn't resize up. If you were to resize up, the quality would go down. So it only resizes down. So
But if you get professional photos, you can get higher resolution.
yeah, you can get higher resolution. But also, you got to think about what size people's screens are too. So if somebody has a screen and it can only display, 1,500 pixels across, is it really worth displaying to them really huge images when it's not going to actually show on the screen?
Download that too, right?
And I just wanted to add, it's actually only best to display high resolution photos if your only intent is for them to download them.
Yeah, because
We just resized everything from Fireworks
mhm,
to web size.
yeah,
I want people to see it on their mobiles, on
I would agree with that too. You're gonna wanna, and that's why WordPress has the image resizing in there, because then you're not serving up like 5, 6 megabyte images to everybody. You're going to serve up smaller ones that are quicker to download rather than the big ones. Then, like we were showing before, where you can click on it to get to the bigger images.
Right.
If you want to be able to download the bigger images, you make it so you can click on it so they can get the bigger images, but they make that action and they can wait because of that for that bigger image.
Right, then they know they're doing that.
Yeah.
And sometimes people want the bigger images because people want to see the detail of the image that they're looking at.
Yeah, sometimes people do want to get bigger images, and but again, it's like, would really a you know, the raw off a camera image like 5,000, 6,000 pixels wide, or would say like maybe a 1,500, 1,600 pixel image be good enough for people who just want to see that, unless you wanted to say sell or download high-res images for using in, you know, printing purposes of that.
Right.
So yeah.
You're probably going to use an F.
Yep. Yeah.
As far as, is there a place for putting like tracking pixels or like Google Analytics and where you're supposed to plug in code?
By default, there's not Google Analytics built into WordPress for that. There are plugins that do it for most of the analytics suites out there. There's a couple really good Google Analytics plugins that you just put in your little UA code, and then it will drop that right into the header or the footer and track your site for you. I'm going to move on to make sure we touch your question here, because I just got told we have 5 minutes left, so we're going to jump off this part for questions, but I think we have a couple minutes between sessions, so if you really have any questions that you want to ask me, you can come to me personally between your sessions and I can answer those. I'm going to jump down then to under the appearance menu. This menu deals with different appearance things on your website, your themes, which Andy's going to get into later in his talk, and customization of themes. Some themes allow you to customize them. It allows you to manage widgets. I showed you on the home page that there are widgets along the side here, and it also allows you to manage menus. I'm going to try to get to widgets, but first I want to get to menus because that's what she had the question about here. This allows you to edit menus on your website. So we're going to create a new menu, and I'm going to call this main menu. And now it's been created. Now I see on the side it allows me to add different things here. So I have a page, and I want to add this page to my menu. It drops over here. I want to add all my blog posts that were categorized as WordCamps. I'm adding that to my menu here. I can add a separate link here. So say I want to add one to WordCamp Milwaukee in there. This is just an exterior link. I can add that to the menu too. When you're looking at your menus, you can drag and drop things to reorder them. You can make things childs of the other ones so they can be a drop-down menu. So when you hover over it, it'll drop down and you can click on and drop down there. And then you check down here if you want to automatically add new pages to the menu. So if a new page was created, it would automatically go into that menu. That's an option you can do if you want. Or different theme locations, and this is what you were asking about. So if you want it up in the top menu, or if you want it in the sidebar. So I'm going to say this one's going to be a top menu. Now we save it. If I refresh this page, now you'll see I have my menu up here now. So now I have my sample page with the drop down that went to WordCamp Milwaukee. So that's where you would add it. So when you create a page, after that's done, you would then go into this menu section, find that page out of the list of pages here, and bring it and click it to bring it over here. By default, it has a little tab that shows your most recent pages. So if you add a new page, it's going to be at the top of this. You can also view all the pages, and it'll give you a list of every single page on your website, or you can search through pages. You may have hundreds of pages, but you might know that you want the contact page. You can just type in contact, and it'll bring that up for you. If you wanted this in your sidebar, you click the sidebar here. And then it shows up on the sidebar right here. Now the thing is, with different themes have different menus. So one theme may have a header menu and a sidebar menu. One theme might not have that. So it all depends upon what themes you have, where there are menus. There are menu widgets too. Widgets, like I said, are little things you can put in the sidebar or different widget areas on your site. And I have probably about 2 minutes left here. So you could put a menu, let's show Brad again, into a widget to put it into your sidebar as well. And just quickly,
The previous speaker covered widgets.
what was that?
The previous speaker,
Yeah.
covered widgets.
She covered widgets? Okay. So you understand a little bit what widgets are, and they can be put in there. I guess anybody have one quick question before we go, and then I'm going to pass it on.
How do I get a page off the menu?
To get a page off that menu, you would just expand it and hit remove. You can also edit the name of the page. In here, it won't edit the actual name of your page. It'll only edit what it's called within the menu.
Why do you hit remove?
Hmm?
Why do you hit remove?
I don't hit remove.
Oh, I thought you said.
No. I said
I hit remove.
you hit remove, yes. So I want to take this off here, remove. Say I want this called something different. I can just change the name of a page too if I want to. So, one more question right there.
Super quick, in the menu bar, if you add a link to create a main header, does it automatically by default open in a new tab, or is there a way to do that, or no? Or does it just take you off? Because I don't want to drive people away from the site, I want to keep them on our site, but then if that doesn't happen, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you want this to open in a different tab, you can. Whenever you're on a page, the admin page and dashboard, there's screen options on top of the site up here in WordPress. This will give you a few different options, and unfortunately I couldn't get into this today, but this will give you a few different options on different parts of the WordPress dashboard. You can click link target here. That will give you an option to open the link in a new window or a new tab. It'll give you this click down here. So.
And I was just going to mention too, when I tweeted out about your bacon thing, it's kind of a funny sidebar, somebody actually retweeted and said it was a Chicago idea.
It was. It wasn't a Chicago idea, but Michelle, who is the organizer here, she helped give me the idea. We were talking on Skype one day, and I'm like, "Oh, what kind of things should we do this year?" And
She said that I should bring it up.
oh, I'll talk with her. She's just jealous. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Here we go.